Welcome back to the program, everybody. Rod and Dupes with you. We're through our live guests, Derek Myers, Nick Sakavich, Dominic Picard, and Lee Genier. It's been a busy show. A lot of movers and shakers on here today. Just recapping on some of the news topics today. Justin Dunk over at 3 Down reporting that the CFL players have rejected the owner's proposal to play. That's only via the survey that was distributed to the players by the association. They haven't officially voted. There seems to be a little confusion there because I did have an agent call me this morning to sort of sort out the Dunk thing, and then they said, well, we haven't voted yet, but the players aren't going to be voting to play anyways. That's the sense that I'm getting from the players and the agents. So it's disturbing, obviously. And then for weeks, it's been a July 31st deadline. Sorry, July 23rd deadline. And then over the last couple of days, the TSN's been coming out, well, it's actually the 24th. And they're calling it a floating deadline and a soft deadline. Like, come on, guys. I'm not going to get into making anybody look bad. Just figure it out. Just figure it out. Blue Jays winning last night 2-0 at the Red Sox. They're going to Tampa. They open at the Rays tomorrow. The Jays are homeless. It's not a laughing matter. Actually, there's a lot of crappy things that are going on that aren't a laughing matter. That's one. The Jays are literally homeless. I was watching the report today with Scott Mitchell on and Steve Phillips on TSN, Darren. Can you imagine being the Blue Jays at this time?
I can.
And packing for literally 60 days. Now, it kind of sounds fun, but it's not really fun. Imagine I'm sure the players are having fun with it. They're young men. They probably are. But the people that are in charge of this, driving them absolute bonkers. Not even knowing where they're going to be staying on a week-to-week basis.
I know.
Feeding these guys, housing these guys, all the rest. What hotels are they going to be in? They don't have reservations anywhere. But the part when I say it's not a laughing matter, I had a guy text me here, and he's in Calgary. He's a Rider fan, but he goes, I got a name for Edmonton, the Ed Mittens, like mittens. And I'm like, hardy, hardy, har. Everybody's making fun of Edmonton. I said this to my wife the other day. Can you just imagine if the Rough Riders were deemed offensive by somebody? And believe me, somebody's trying out there to find it.
Yep.
But the Rough Riders are mounted police. That's what it is. The Northwestern Mounted Police were called Rough Riders way back in the day, going back to 1877. You know somebody's tried to find some way of this being offensive, and they just couldn't do it.
I know.
But I said to my wife, just imagine if it was found to be offensive and they had no more Rider Nation, no more Riderville, no more Rider Pride. Of course, everybody would be making fun of Saskatchewan in that instance, but it's really not that funny if you're to put yourself in the shoes of the Edmonton franchise. And maybe I'm just hypersensitive because I've been talking to their staff. Now, some of them are saying, look, we're just glad it's over. We're glad a decision's been made. The announcement's been made that we're changing our name. They have no idea what the team name's going to be, but this isn't a new thing. It's been coming up for years. One of my key guys up there is like, listen, it's bad, but at least it's over with. But to be making fun of them, I guess that's just society now, right? Everybody just likes to nanny. That's what everybody likes to do.
Yes. Nobody wants to put themselves out there before, but afterwards when they can wave the finger. Absolutely. It's easy. It's easy to do it, and try and make fun of them. But it is a good thing that it's in the rearview mirror a little bit, starting to get the new name, start building a bit of a new identity, and move forward as fast as possible.
Jeff, the Stamps fan, writes in and he says, no one is making fun of Edmonton. People are having fun with the ridiculous situation. What's the difference? What's the difference? I'm just saying there are people that populate those offices. That's all. And it's a crappy time for them. I've been talking with the broadcasters of the Eskimos, and or whatever they were, the team name, and they're like they're acting like this franchise is a bunch of villains. That's the part that bothers me. They're good people. Nobody likes to be ridiculed and made fun of. And I believe that's what people are doing, unless I've completely misread the situation.
No, you're right. And they read their social media feeds and they get the notifications on their phone. It feels like it's on them when it's not, right?
That's how they're feeling.
Yeah, that's how they're feeling. Anytime you get a notification, even though it's through a team account or whatever, a business account, and it's negative, you take that personally because you're part of that organization. but they're all good people. So they do want to move on.
I guess that's my point. When you're forwarding things, retweeting things, joking about things, put yourself in their shoes for a second. I know nobody or very few people have the ability to do that. It's called empathy, but when you're forwarding these jokes, to me, it's not a laughing matter, I guess. We're going to sit here. You've not seen us joke once about the Eskimos or the Redskins or any of these other names. Yes, I joked about the Seattle Kraken, but guess what? Pretty sure they don't care what I think. And I will come around on it, but when I saw this, the name is the Seattle Kraken, I was like, I almost fell off my chair. You said I didn't even know that's where they were talking about.
Yeah, I had heard it as a possibility for sure. It was one of the stronger candidates, of course, Metropolitans, the Totems, the Sockeyes. There's a bunch of different names that have been floating around. Kraken was one of the first to come up, but I'm a little surprised too that they went with it just because it was out there before. I thought, but they did a good job at selling it with that trailer yesterday, the little teaser video
I didn't see that.
On the water with the goal horn and stuff. I thought that was kind of neat. So if that's any indication, I think we'll grow to love it because they'll do a good job telling the story.
Well, I'm not upset. I was hoping it would be the Metropolitans because we got some guys in the room here that are hockey historians like me.
Yeah.
And I like the past. I like respecting the past. I'm also realizing people like us are becoming the minority. You know that, Woodsy? Us middle-aged white men, down with us. Yeah, we're down. We had our time. It's over.
It's over.
Right, Jimmy? So, but at least I'm open-minded to realize that just because it's what I like doesn't mean that's the way it has to be. If this was submitted by the fans and they had a vote, and that's what it sounds like what happened with Lewicki, how can you go against that?
Yeah.
That's why you have a vote. It's a free country. So it doesn't matter that I don't care for the name. By the way, speaking of hockey traditionalists, we're going to take a timeout, come back with overtime. We'll talk about the rock star of the day. I did talk to a junior hockey coach yesterday, and I don't mind saying it was Dave Struch of the Pats. We were talking about Connor Bedard. We were talking about this season. I want to talk about that more when we come back. And also, it's game day. Got this new horn this morning at Walmart. I want to use it. It's game day.
That almost sounds like a noisemaker you'd hear at a football game in Canada, doesn't it?
Let's make some noise. I got the cowbell.
You're like Mr. Dress Up with a tickle trunk.
I got everything here.
Yeah,
if you can think of any more noisemakers, I'm all ears. Anyways, Sim Game Day, Touchdown Atlantic tonight. Argos, Riders, and Craig Campbell's watching from the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. He says, I'm looking forward to the Argos virtually winning against Saskatchewan tonight. I don't know. They met earlier this year. Riders prevailed 16-10 at Mosaic Stadium. This is the rubber match tonight, virtually, on this Facebook Live channel. We're going to have a big crew here tonight. We're going to have a seafood meal. And obviously a lot of viewers. We have had 62,500 viewers so far for these computer-simulated games. It's mind-boggling. But it's, as they say, here we are. Overtime coming up. It's the RP Show, Game Plus TV Network. And listen live at rodpeterson.com.
You're watching Rod Peterson On Demand. For more of The Rod Peterson Show, visit rodpeterson.com or follow Rod Peterson on social media.